This short training video will show how to extend or shorten the number of frames of an already created layer on the timeline. So right now I've got my layer 1 and that's what that's sitting on. So I'm actually going to create another layer and I'm just going to call this one example. Okay, because that's what the purpose of this particular example is. And we're going to add an object on for that example. So I'm going to go to my tools and I'm just going to click on my circle and I'm going to draw it on frame 1. And then I'm going to go out to frame 30, and actually I'll go to frame 20, and I'm going to insert a keyframe there. And so I'll click on it, Control, and I'm going to insert keyframe. So basically from frame 1 to frame 20 is all the same. But what if I want to go to frame 25? Now I could just click my cursor anywhere inside of here, click on Control click on it, and then say insert frame. If I do that, that'll extend it by 1. Or I can go in here and remove frames, and that will basically remove the frame that I'm in. I can reduce that size down. Now, this gets a little bit more challenging once I add an animation to it, but if I click on frame 20 and make that convert to, actually that is a keyframe already. So I'm going to make this an animation, so I'm just going to click anywhere on there, and I'll create a classic tween, which is basically showing it. So basically going to be there to there, and I'm going to make my frame 20, and I'll move that someplace else on the screen so the animation will occur. It'll fly across there. This frame, should actually be called my text, my question text. And you want to make these as logical as possible. Also, don't include any spaces in there, so I don't include any spaces. And I'm just going to insert a keyframe here just so that it keeps the items that I had up here. So this text remains. So right now that's the animation that's on there. And if I want to add a frame to it, click anywhere inside of there, Control click, and then I can insert a frame. And now what that'll do is that'll just add my animation and have it just play a little bit longer than it did before. And so it'll just play out. Okay. Or I can remove something. So if I click anywhere inside of the frame, and then if I remove, I don't want to remove tween, but just remove a frame, it'll just remove that one frame in the animation. And then, like I said, that's how I can basically control the adding and reducing of frames. Now, you can go in here, and if I click on this, and I can convert frames, I can copy frames. So say that I wanted to have this animation occur at this point, but then come back the other direction. So I'm going to actually click on that frame and then click on the frame before it. So I'm selecting everything. And I'm actually going to copy the frames. So copy frames. Okay. Then I'm going to go out here to frame 21, and I'm going to click my cursor again. And now I'm going to paste frames. So that now is that same animation again. So it's going to do the same thing. It's going to go boop, and then start over again, boop. Flash. So, okay.